This is Project Diablo 2. It is a modern way that you can play the classic Diablo 2 game, but it's got continued mod support for years and years and years. The big highlight points would be that it's got controller support, a currency stash tab with stackable runes and gems, loot filters, charm inventory, allocated loot, vastly improved builds and itemization diversity, endgame farming and leveling beyond Baal, Chaos Sanctuary, and Cow runs. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of all the different hotkeys, the widescreen support, the custom text, and everything else, and that's not including all of the bug fixes, offline single-player support, and a seemingly overall tight-knit but very positive community. Now, while I've only personally just dipped my toes into this project, it did come with some hurdles. Most of all with setting it up. So I thought I would take responsibility on making a quick guide on how to get Project Diablo 2 to run. So for starters, you have to be able to purchase the classic version of Diablo 2 and its DLC or expansion, the Lords of Destruction, which you cannot do with the Blizzard launcher. So you're going to have to navigate to their website, go to the Diablo 2 Resurrected, scroll down, and you can find the classic version of Diablo 2 and the DLC. Honestly, I don't know why this greedy, stupid company doesn't give you the classic games when you buy the remaster. And once you do have a legitimate copy, you're going to navigate to your Games and Subscriptions tab, and when you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see Classic Games along with your CD key. Once you get your hands on the CD keys, which are going to be required for installing the game, you'll end up going here, which will allow you to download Diablo 2 and the DLC separately. The thing is, this is actually just an installer, so you'll download the installer, you'll initiate it, it'll ask for your CD key, and then it'll start installing the game. Nowadays, most people aren't used to this type of thing, but I'll just say, in case you don't know, you install the base game first and then the expansion next. Once those are installed, we can finally move on to Project Diablo 2, which is going to end up being projectdiablo2.com, and right on the front page, there's going to end up being a downloader. The launcher will have to restart a couple times, installing new updates and whatever. Generally, it's pretty straightforward. But where things get tricky is when you start trying to play Project Diablo 2, you're going to need some login credentials that are not related to the same account that you're using on the website. The crazy thing is that if you end up trying to create a new account from this screen, this actually doesn't do anything. So from the main page, you're going to click on your username in the top right and go to settings. And when you get to this page, you're going to notice change game account password. From this menu, you're going to choose the account, and then you're going to end up giving yourself a new password, confirm the new password, and then use your website login password to confirm that. Now you have the login credentials to start playing Project Diablo 2. The annoying thing is you can't just copy and paste your password, so you gotta type it in every single time. But yeah, once you're on this menu, you would just create yourself a character, which I've already got one set up. And since it's an older game, you're actually going to end up creating your own server. You can end up joining other people, but if you create a server, set it up with a password, and just set max amount of players and create game, there you go. You hop right into Diablo 2. But what about playing with offline single player? Because there are some drawbacks to playing online. Namely, the game will never pause if you open the escape menu. In order to play offline, you're going to end up needing this mod. So I'll put a link in the description to all of this stuff, but you would just go here and click download. So this is what's going to end up being in the folder you just downloaded. You're going to navigate to Diablo 2, and then right here, this save folder, you're going to drag and drop or copy and paste into your Diablo 2 folder. I'll also mention that this is going to end up being a cheaty stash tab that has every item in the game. But the save folder is going to end up including some blank characters at various levels, as well as showcase characters. So basically cheaty files if you just want to get to the end of the game and see what's what. In order to use any of them, you have to copy the DS2 file out of any of these. So let's take a showcase character, Amazon. This is a cold arrow build. We would just copy this and bring it up to here. But that's just for the save files. So from your Diablo 2 installed folder, you're going to go to Project D2, and then there's going to be all of this crap. And then from the downloaded folder, you're going to go to the Project D2, and you're going to copy all this crap into the other folder. Something to keep in mind is that Pluggy is going to be what you'll launch to go into single player. But If you've never launched the game before, you will have to do that so that the launcher can update. It seems the main reason for people to use the single player is not because they want to play the game offline, but specifically so they can test stuff. I will say that this does come with issues. It's not as straightforward as you would think. Like, I actually ended up copying all of these files into my Diablo 2 folder, and then for whatever reason, Pluggy just constantly crashed for me. I didn't want to try and find a solution to it either because I don't really care about playing offline, so I'll just say good luck. Suffice to say, this is a huge nostalgia trip for me, but I'm also very surprised how well balanced the different class variety seems to be. There is a reason Path of Exile is still to this day stealing ideas from Diablo 2 because this game is a classic. Obviously, it's not on consoles, and if you don't want to end up dealing with any of this headache, you can just get the remaster, but generally speaking, this has had a lot more time to cook, and the people that are working on it are actually passionate about the project, which is more than I can say for the underpaid employee over at Blizzard Activision.